Access to land continues to limit the growth of black farmers. AFASA says the current dispute between one of its members and another farmer highlights the plight of emerging farmers without land. This farmer was recently locked out while his livestock was still on the farm. He approached a magistrate's court for an interim order while he consulted the Water and Sanitation Department on his application to lease the land and to get clarity on who owns the land. The court granted the interdict.
I do have my livestock there, but what is important maybe is that I have also made an application for the lease of this land, and it was not only that one. But I was, just disappointed by Albion Department because there's no even a single letter that says to me, we are recognizing your application.
AFASA handed a memorandum of grievance to the province's Department of Water and Sanitation following a land dispute between the two farmers. The organization has emphasized the importance of land, saying on municipal commonage, farmers are allowed only 10 cows, which stunts the growth of their businesses.
The biggest problem that we are having as, I would say, black farmers is we do not have access to land. The biggest thing is government has a lot of land, but it's still in the hands of I would say advanced commercial farmers who really do not need it. If today we are looking at 4,000 hectares that is only being owned by 7 commercial farmers, it means what about the other communities? What about the marginalized? Where do they go in?
The Water and Sanitation Department in the Free State says it's evaluating applications from farmers in Hoopstad who want to lease its land.
What we have to do as a department, this is not much areas. We have already agreed that because it's not our mandate to own the land. Now these particular pockets of land are really leased for the grazing, and there is a committee which the department is really having where people are really applying and getting some applications and forwarding to them, and that particular committees are really awarding those particular leases and so on, depending on the policy of the government. And
some young farmers in the area have also complained about the lack of access to land.
I stand here as the director of JD Farming Enterprise, who has been perpetually excluded in the processes of wanting to acquire land from the municipality. And for that matter, there are parcels of land that are listed in the official website of the municipality that we do not know, for some other political reasons, perhaps we are being excluded deliberately.
We don't have land to do our farming. Most of it belongs to white people, and there is also no funding. Right now we are using our grandmother's land and we still don't have a title deed.
In court papers submitted by David van Heerden, he insists that he has permission to occupy the land and the complainant doesn't. He says he has documentary proof that he followed all processes to have access to the land, which was granted by the Gauteng North High Court, and the Magistrates Court cannot overturn that with an interim court interdict. The matter has been postponed to the 30th of July at the Hoopstad Magistrates Court. Kamogelo Siekwi, SABC News, Hoopstad.
Well, the African Farmers Association of South Africa Commodity Chair of Chairs, Realeboha Mokhethi, joins us now for more on this story. A very good evening to you, Realeboha. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the late edition.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
Very good evening to you. Thanks indeed for joining us. You could perhaps start by elaborating on the recent land access challenges faced by black farmers in the Free State, particularly in the context of the dispute in Hoopstad. Just how representative is the Hoopstad incident of the broader issues that black farmers face when trying to access land in the province?
Look, this is one of a lot of issues that are there when it comes to land. And it's painful to see one farmer who is trying to excel in what they're doing to be kept out. And because the matter is now in court, I think let the court work on what they have. And we believe that this justice system will be able to exonerate and award accordingly the land that is being disputed at the moment. But in general, when you look at the land that is available, it's land that is there, but farmers cannot get access to. Look now, when you look at municipal land, public works, the one that comes from land and rural, you find that most people that are occupying those lands are not given the chance to actually use the land accordingly.
Yeah.
And one of the major things is you find that the land and rural, when Mayor Tokodidiza was still a minister, he promised that there will be title deeds that will be given to farmers so that they are able to be bankable and they must have assets so that if they go to apply for any kind of funding or loans, they can be accredited for that so that they can move from being emerging to commercial. And it's one of our stands that our members, we believe that they are able to get to where they need to get if there is land available.
You know, we could spend hours talking about the dispossession of land through the 1913 Natives Land Act, which was apartheid's original sin. I mean, the land question goes far back, more than a century, to this act, which provided legislative form to a process of dispossession that had been underway since colonial times. So your organization now says that the lack of access to land perpetuates historic inequalities. In your view, what are the most urgent barriers that continue to prevent land redistribution to black farmers?
You know, the worst part is that the officials that have been given the mandate to execute, they are the ones that are not doing so. And it goes back to, if the officials now want to be in business, they must actually resign so that they can let those who want to actually service the people to be the ones that will be able to execute the mandate that have been given. Which currently, right now, let's talk about the Melkral issue, where the minister was there on the 3rd of January, where he promised he will come and sort out the issue that is there. Now, the biggest thing is when you see women and children, once the husband or the father passes away, they are now being abused and intimidated, because now the one that was there before is not longer there to actually execute. Now, that for me, I believe it's something that the Minister Nyonzo, who we have been emailing and communicating, but he hasn't actually acknowledged any of our pleas to say, guys, even your emails are received them. Now, it becomes a barrier, a very difficult one, to actually penetrate and be able to give justice to those who need the land to use it.
Now, when you say that officers, if they want to get into business, especially involving land, they need to resign from their government positions. And if they continue doing so, I suppose that would be a gross conflict of interest. So how would you then describe the role that government departments, such as the Department of Water and Sanitation, are playing in either enabling or obstructing fair land access?
Look, I do believe not everybody in the department is corrupt. I believe that there are those who are there to serve the mandate, and you have one of those where you find that they're not executing the way they should be. Now, we believe as a union that public servants, they must serve the people, because without them doing so, it becomes a challenge for us to move forward in anything that we want to do.
And what is your assessment then of the pace, the implementation of the land reform program in the Free State? Have you perhaps engaged with the provincial or the national authorities regarding land reform delays or disputes like the one in Hoopstad? If so, what has been the response?
Sure. You know, what is actually hurting is you are like speaking to brick walls. We've engaged from the district to the province, and you still not getting anyone who will come back to any of your emails. And I will just want to say that the MEC, Mayor El-Sabi Rockman, has actually been very supportive in all this. And we want to say thank you, MEC, for trying to assist farmers to see that the challenges that we are having, she actually hears and tries by all means to assist. But when it comes to land and rural department, we have got to a brick wall, which I'm pleading that the Minister Nyonzo will actually try as hardest as he can to actually respond or just acknowledge some of the letters and the requests we've made to his office, so that we do not have to have people waiting. There are people who haven't gotten even a written list for the past 10 years. And how do you actually function without any paperwork where you are?
That's a poignant question. Thank you so much for joining us, Realeboha.
Thank you so much.